I don't know. Onward to phase 2 of this project. Now this countertop is flat. This plywood is flat. This front is supposed to be flat. It isn't anywhere close. This is everything that's wrong with it. Well, that's got to be fixed without replacing it, theoretically. The bridge is epoxied on. It is not going anywhere. The bridge plate is also epoxied on. It stays. But that's the only flat part of the whole front. I've got all the braces off. The procedure is to dampen the wood on the unfinished side lightly, not soak it, just dampen it. Then steam it and let the steam penetrate it and soften it to where the wood will give, and then clamp it flat and leave it for days, and then take the clamps off and see if it went flat. He says it could take 2 or 3 attempts to get it all the way down, and in the condition of this it may take more than that. How do we create steam? The old steam iron, which isn't used for anything else these days. It's a perfect source of steam for a homeowner. But you don't want to iron it. You don't want to burn it. So this is what old worn out bath towels are for. You lay a towel on the wood that's dampened and you apply the steam through the towel, and eventually you get it to where it will go flat. You clamp it, and when you've gotten it to where it stays flat, you glue all the braces back on, you put it back on the guitar, and you string it up and play it. This is all in theory. Now in practice, we shall see. Alrighty, time to get this going. Now Michael cautioned me to take it slow, give this old wood time. After all, it's been like this for 50 years, or at least a good part of it. Now, this is going to take a lot of time and a lot of beer. Now, he says when I feel it starting to soften, press it down. And clamp it. And that's it. Now we leave it to sit for a day, 2, however long. Take the clamps off and probably do it again. Looks like some sort of an ancient torture device. So next in the unending series of changes in game plan, now one of my gurus has informed me that to do this right, the bridge is going to have to come off. Well, the bridge was epoxied on there, with no intention of it ever coming off. So how do I get it off of there without destroying everything? I melt it off using this thing called a palette knife, which of course I've never owned before because I'm not an artist. And how you do this is you have a heat source over here, which consists of one of my little cast iron skillets turned upside down. You heat it to precisely 155 degrees centigrade, plus or minus a half a dozen degrees. You lay this little puppy on it and heat it up. And when it gets up to temperature, you scurry back over here, slide it under, and wiggle it and give it about 10 seconds worth of melting before it cools down and you do it all over again. Thusly. And you gain maybe a fraction of a millimeter at a time. And you wiggle it back out of there and you do it all over again. And in about 3 hours, I've gotten this far on this side and almost as far on the other side. So I only have about that much left to do, or maybe a week. This is definitely taking a while. After another hour, I finally made it halfway. I think it's time to take a break. Another day and several hours of torture later, the bridge is off, the bridge plate is off, and the front is down to a piece of completely bare naked wood. Hopefully now it can be properly flattened and repaired. That remains to be seen.